Good evening, everybody, and welcome to StatCheck episode 134. This is Manual Stats Week. As you might have noticed across the wider internet, there's been a bit of an outage with Best Coast pairings as they've been updating some stuff behind the scenes. So we've been resorted, as we mentioned on the show last week, we did not have stats. We have resorted to going back to the olden times, the old ways, where Jeremy does it all by hand, and that's unsustainable. So we'll see what happens in that space. But for now, there's been a bit of a disruption. But we do have stats this week. We're happy to say that we're not changing our show's name to StatCheck from StatCheck to Chat Check. I don't know, something like that. It would have to be
check.
Just check. Yeah, just we're doing nothing else. We're baby no money now. That's what we're doing. I'm Ennis. I'm joined by Nathan. I'm joined by Anthony. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm just back from a tournament. Anthony's probably running something somewhere for someone, or just staring at the results of that tournament online.
I'm running an RTT this weekend.
Always. And Nathan is, I don't know, sellout maxing in Boston.
True. That's probably about what is true. Yeah.
And playing in horrible Crusade leagues, probably still in his brain at least.
I don't know if he's found one of those in Boston yet, right?
I have not. I haven't played a game. I haven't played a game of in-person 40K in a long time now. But I did build a Knight Atropos and a Knight Lancer over the weekend while watching WrestleMania, because what else is there to do in life? Yeah, I don't know. I am having fun. I haven't built big knights since I first started playing Warhammer 40K in the olden times of 8th edition, when I built a Castellan as my first model, which was a mistake. Don't do that to yourselves, folks. That was a monstrous error. But yeah, so now I've built an Atropos and a Lancer, and I've got a Castigator and 2 other big knights to build just for funsies, because if I only have to paint 3 big models to 4 big models, life will be okay. Yeah, I don't know. I also joined Magic the Gathering Sealed League at our local nerd shop, so I'm playing Sealed Magic with some folks, which is kind of neat. Other than that,
it's a good time.
Yeah, I like Sealed. I like playing and building decks that way. Although I learned that, having not played a lot of Magic recently, that Dragonstorm is a much more complicated format. Since it's based around running triple colors, and yeah, that's a lot in a sealed format, but it's been fun. I met some cool people, and then the local game place near us is more of a bar and grill type place than an actual.
I can see why you're playing Magic there.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Other than that, getting ready to paint these nights, since I now have an airbrush and airbrush station here in Boston with me, so I can actually do some hobby stuff when I'm not working at the pharma mines forever. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's me. That's my life. Slowly but surely getting places. How about you, Anthony? How are you doing, bud? You're muted, buddy.
He's doing muted.
Home Nation's just finished. I'm doing all right. We're nearing selection season. I think our selection is the week after BFS, so we're nearly done, which is good. I can't wait for this to be over. This is pretty routinely my least favorite part of the year, besides this is pretty much it. The
this and the day after you lose in WTC, right? Those are your two
correct.
Least favorite times of every year.
The not even the day after I lose, the day after finals end and we're not first. Those are the I can an individual loss is fine, right? As long as we can still rally back. But yeah, the not first is pain. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. It's just the slow, World Leader waiting room, the staying sharp on EC in case World Leader sucks a lot. Sucks too much that I can't make it work, I guess, is the frame. I have a pretty low bar of what I want out of this World Leaders Codex. I would like a functional 7-8 slot in teams. I'm not asking too much of it. It doesn't need to blow the meta open. I just need it to be decent in a given context. And that's it. Not irredeemable. That's all we're looking for,
What did you think of the Slaughterbound from today then?
He's cool. I mean, people read the Slaughterbound and they're like, "Oh, they 2/2. He's so bad." And it's like, well, yeah, if it didn't also say +1 attack on the charge, sustained, sometimes lethal. You know, there's a lot of like other words that are on that datasheet that aren't actually on that datasheet. Tucked away in the blessings of corn section.
It's a pretty good army roll, that, right?
Yeah, it's all right. So, and apparently it's barely changing in the new book. So, thanks, Warcom. So yeah, I think he's pretty good. Like a once per game thing. I mean, I can't really complain too much about the Slaughterbound. He's everything that I asked for in the World Leader character for
a dude that just goes in a squad and slams and doesn't do shit to buff them.
Yeah, he does fuck all for them. Frankly, if they could get rid of the res, I'd be okay with that too.
If they were like, take off the res, give him an extra AP, I'd be happy, right?
Oh my god, I'd be so thrilled. I'd be so happy.
But think how much harder you could scam Victor with resing.
That's true. Yeah, that unit would literally never even take damage. It's fine. So yeah, I mean, I like him a lot. I think he's really cool. I'll probably run somewhere, between 1 and 3, right? Like that's the usual. I will almost certainly be running at least 1.
There's a very real world where they're cheap enough that you play them instead of spawn and stuff like that. It's like solo runabout assholes as well.
Dude, they're like, yeah, I was gonna say they're decent like by themselves. Like, they fail the ever-present, always like bad check of like, dude, doesn't even kill 5 Marines AOC, which is the worst metric in the game. I hate when people do that so much.
Everywhere?
Yeah. Also, they're gonna AOC against this guy? What?
But does he kill five Rangers? That's all. That's the one I really like.
Yeah,
he doesn't kill
God
5
knows.
Rangers. He's not touching it.
Sure.
These guys have no armor saving combat. If you catch them, they should die.
But yeah, I think he's quite good. We'll see how the rest of the book shapes out, how things go. I think that it's going to depend a lot on. I think people get lost in the weeds a lot with what World Leaders is and isn't. Even now, I'm like talking about like right now. World Leaders' power doesn't come from the fact that you like have a feel no pain necessarily, or that you're this like giga durable army that stands in front of the bad men and takes their best hit and wins the brawl. It's like World Leaders benefits from being like this tiny footprint thing that like touches you and detonates you, right? The fact that 3 8-bound in a corner of a WTC ruin is like the angle required to shoot them is awful. Same thing with a GW ruin. Like that's huge. That you don't have to rely on these giant blocky 10-man units to do damage is very good as a melee army. So I think as long as they can keep that rhythm alive in the new book, things will be good. It'll still be fun. And we'll see how it all shakes out.
Glad to hear it.
But yeah, the early previews are, kind of whatever. Don't get caught, people out there in the world, by the bait of World Leader Sky Splinter. Someone's going to kill your rhinos. You're going to be sad.
Do it so I can play against
you. I think that is what everybody's just going to talk about forever, but I'm sorry.
Do it so I can play against you.
Yeah, sure. You're right. Yeah, based on the Warcom article preview, it doesn't, it just, I saw it and I was like, oh no, rules for rhinos, and all the rules are based around rhinos. No. We've been down this road before.
Based around Land Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, you could try. If that works, go for it.
God, I hope Land Raiders are good in this book, just to make people play them.
Yeah,
I want people to move Land Raiders around on WG tournament. I want exclusively people who play on GW tournaments. But like Anthony's terrible at World Eaters because his list don't work on GW. Just play Land Raiders, and then they'll try to play them on WG tournament, and that'll be even better for me.
Yeah,
it's really all I'm looking for.
Yeah, I don't. I got beat senseless by a Redeemer a couple of years ago. I don't know, man. I think they were pretty good then too.
Like details. It's in Gladius.
Yeah.
Land Raider was advancing grenading. Let's not be.
I guess.
Advanced and grenading, my favorite.
The old days, dude. Eligible to shoot.
Did you have an assault weapon and move? Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't even eligible for grenade. It was hadn't shot. So much. Oh, the good old days. As for myself, I was just at Home Nations for the event I think we were speaking about. It was the playing with Team Scotland. We ended up going 2-1 on our pod, which was great. We lost to the USA. We beat Wales and Ireland. We were the closest round USA had over the course of their domination over the tournament, which is not a great chip to take with us, but it is the one we're taking.
I've heard from many people on my end that round right in the middle of it was like, oh no, for a bit.
Yeah, it did. It looked like they were stressing a lot during pairings, which is the most that I can take from it. So yeah, we've definitely been doing a lot of look back at how all of that went right, what we can take from it going forward. We did unfortunately get absolutely exploded on day 2 by England and Belgium. which was a little disappointing, but we got to make it to the top board, which is not a thing we did last year. So as far as I can take it as, that's a good thing to go from. I went 3-2 with the Gene Star Cults. I lost 2 games to Noise Marines. There were other armies around them, but one of them was Emperor's Children Noise Marines, and one of them was Renegade Raider Noise Marines. I lost 9-11 to Liam Keane from Wales. Noise Marines on a board where they could stage was not fun, and I lost 13-7 to Nathan on Renegade Raider Noise Marines, where it was we played that one on a light table, and he shot me pretty hard.
I mean, you just don't have any recourse for those fuckers. They just rip a unit apart.
When they're in,
like, I'll get
it's
you back
very
in
much
a second.
like it takes so many activations for my army specifically to deal with the transport, then the unit inside it, and the transport just like still rips chunks out of me.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm pretty happy with playing the bomb matchup. Like I played Spatho for the USA round, and I was pretty comfortable with that one being like, I know that army can't shoot me, which means I get to be in the open against it. Against Emperor's Children, it's like, all right, man, I'm going to shoot 16 models dead out of 3 squads, lift one of them. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And that was much harder to deal with. And that was the kind of the problem with both the EC and the Renegade Raiders games, which definitely, puts a bit of a, all right, cool, host has some bad matchups that it didn't have a month ago, which is definitely, got me keeping an eye on that as far as matches goes. And it's also the reason that those Marines should be 300 points.
I mean, I definitely think that if they're allowed at all in CSM, they probably should not cost the same amount of points that they cost.
No, they should probably be like 5,000 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that unit is stupid.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. I will say that I got turbo scanned by the Demon Prince, standing back up with 6 wounds in front of my unit. I charged it and did 3 to it with my 20-man Gene Star Cult infantry unit. I was like, all right, come on.
3 is pretty good. That's more than I would expect it to do.
With the sustained hits and the Primus full rerolls, you like, and +1 AP, you just like, he AOC'd and still took 3 damage.
That's funny.
Yeah. So if it just not stood up or stood back up with less, with like 3, I'd have been probably pretty comfortable. Unfortunately, it stood back up with the full 6 and then just lived to the end of the game.
Swept you back. That probably sucked.
Yeah, I did the sit there and I'm like, well, he's got 14 attacks and he's not getting charge morals, and there's 20 assholes in this unit. Mathematically can't die.
Yeah, right this second I can't die.
And didn't die. And then he did battle shock and have to stay in combat with me.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
The Nexus fell back from him. Got to do a containment the next turn. It was fine.
Nice.
It was all right. Keeping that Nexus alive and going like, he's not eligible to shoot, but he definitely can say for 1 CP, -1 on the one for the 2 CP strat, for +1 to wound for 2 units. He's not eligible to shoot. He doesn't have to be. He's just only allowed to shoot that guy, and it's now only 1 for the other 20 man that came in from reserve this turn. It's nice to have him running about doing that. I've enjoyed that tech in the army. I'm looking forward to doing that at BFS. And there's also notably no Emperor's Children at BFS.
That's
so
true.
I'm feeling much better about this weekend, or about next weekend. So. Yeah, that's what's been for me. The other games I played Ireland's Eldar, got a lovely 19-1 there. He had 1 active model on turn 4 and drew the 1 secondary he could score with it, with Assassination, which is fine. So shit happens. And then I played Spatho for 13-7 with Bile. I got a little too close. I had I carried for a 32 mil chosen base, not a 40 mil Bile base on his tag into Pylon, and he tagged up 2 units 20 on turn 1, where I was only expecting 1. Which is fine. Shit happens. And then I shot him back and then eventually ended on his home objective with 40 neophytes. Just inexorably walking up the board. It's my favorite thing to do. The look on Chosen's face when you start charging their possessed and you're like, well, there's 1 guy left. I have 40 attacks. He'll probably die between this and next.
I'll get him eventually.
Yeah, exactly. He will eventually die. Just walking up the board, like rapid ingressing behind my home ruins and then ending on his home objective is the Gene Star Cut way. My last game was against Guillaume from the Belgian team playing Tyranids. He had a Norn and 60 Gaunts, and I sure did kill like 120 Gaunts that game. 120 got annihilated. The other one stood there, and the other 2 stood there and just like constantly rezzed onto his home objective as 100 neophytes tried to charge through them through the field no pain, just never being able to get shots on them. I did manage to do a 6-inch rapid ingress inside his home ruin to get plunging fire, to like shoot down and try to pick something up, which got very close. I think I left like 3 alive, unfortunately, because it was a depleted squad. But ended up getting 13-7 on that one. The squad that ingressed in his home ruin got charged by a hive turret. He precisioned at the character. I dirty fallbacked and walked onto the objective with 8 models and blocked the Norn from burning it.
Hilarious.
Like OC 16, thank you. It was a good day. So yeah, 2 13s there, a 19-1, and then 13-7 against and an 11-9 against. So pretty happy with that. It's definitely one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, the Wales round, we went with the plan of no one's prepped against EC. I've played with and against a bunch. Let's just put me into that game. It's pretty stable. It's not going to get worse than me and stop us getting blown up by it. And we won that round. And then day 2, both other teams we played against with EC, we didn't do that. And they, I think, put the other 2 EC players put like 35 to 37 points on us, and we got blown up by those games. And it's like, okay, maybe I should have just done that again. Because yeah, it was probably more of a swing than we needed it to be. I think we were just under prep for EC. Which is, you know, one of those things that you kind of look at and you're like, all right, cool. We did some prep for it, but maybe not enough. Maybe not against good enough EC players.
I mean,
definitely a thing.
Us staring down the barrel of not taking EC in Space Marines, we're like, going in, but we figured it out. It was fine.
Yeah, we also did not have EC, which was a very real pain point on the comp for the weekend. Yeah, other than that, it was a very, very interesting weekend. Really good to get a bunch of results out of it. Good to get everybody a chance to blood up against some of the better players. You know, we got to play against Belgium, USA, and England, right? What are we going to complain about? So yeah, no, it was a great weekend. It was good to make top pod as opposed to last year where we didn't, right? So yeah, very happy with it. And now I've got to go and make everybody write out reports for Anthony so that they can all snitch on their opponents. That's the
yay.
Get your bribes in now.
Belgium, dude. Is Belgium a sleeper, or what's the deal? Do we think
Belgium was good, right?
Do we think tier 1 Belgium this year? Are they finally getting?
I mean, surely they deserve it more than Canada did when Canada had it, right?
Are they gonna reach up and knife wound the Netherlands out of their spot in the
Netherlands or Austria, right? It's one of the two. I mean, depends who Spain shows up with as well, right?
I think Spain might not be going.
Is Spain either not showing up or they're sending not their main team, something like that? I can't remember.
I thought Spain wasn't going, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Spain isn't going to what? To WTC?
The WTC.
Yeah.
Oh damn. I did.
Look, Verkoyan, you guys couldn't even make it into top pod. What do you want from us?
I mostly only suggested it because I mostly only suggested it because I like to make Rude upset sometimes.
Well, I think Rude deserves a little bit of. Rude had to sit and watch his team suffer. I think he deserves a little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Shall we talk about what we have on the stats? Nathan, let you get a chance to wow us all with the data after the Mordaka nerfs.
No, because I'm still waiting for Jeremy to get the snapshot over to me.
Jeremy,
so do that 1 second.
What are you doing, bro?
No, we shouldn't be mean to Jeremy. It's really hard to do the stats manually.
It is a bit.
So
okay,
right. So
let's talk about BFS.
Just talk about something else.
Let's talk about BFS. Anthony, as the not captain, talk to us about BFS.
Well, lists aren't live yet. What are we going to talk about, dude? What do you want to know?
Lists are submitted, bro. So
yeah, but
talk about our team
live. They're not
live.
Who cares? We're going to spoil things for people.
Yeah, dude,
get excited.
Spoil it.
Is Ed listening? Ed watches the Showtime sometimes. Ed, put the lists live. So BFS is going to be a big team tournament in the northeastern United States. It is often, one of the bigger team events that happen stateside. This year it is quite brutal, I think is the right way to phrase that. What is normally like, a local team of just like the lads in Obliterati has an imported Mike Pestilence, Kit Smith Hanna, and David Gaylord. On top of them being like, pretty solid as a base. So that's going to be a fun team. There is the Chimera, which is a, conglomerate of like the northeastern murder men like TJ, Sam Pope, Fennel, and all sorts of other people from the northeast that, pretty regularly smash these sort of things. There is the Art of War team, and then there is us, a team of wayward buddies looking to do their best at a team event.
We're just here to have a good time, guys. It's just
That's
us
right.
and our friends.
Never consummate tryhards that have no other setting but to try as hard as physically possible. Just, a couple lads doing their best.
I just want to go to New York, bro. That's all I'm here for.
That's fair. Yeah, just a couple of plucky gamers, doing what they can. So our team is, let's see if I can do it without forgetting anybody. Me, Innes, Nos, Brian, Josh, Trent, Curie. That's only 7.
It's a certain rodent.
What?
It's Father Beaver, man.
Oh, Olivier. There we go. I was like, rodent. I thought I had it. I was like, blood angels, and then you said rodent and just completely derailed where I was going. I was like, huh?
You actually ruined Anthony's train of thought trying to be helpful.
Yeah, I was like, we can't take Skaven? What the fuck is this guy talking about?
So, shall we go through roughly what we've submitted? Because I actually
sure. You can do that. Lead the way, young
And obviously,
star.
we have Upstate Dan as our coach.
Yes. Upstate Dan, our powerful coach.
All right, Anthony, you are playing World Eaters?
World
I actually
Eaters.
don't know.
Yes, that was what I ended up submitting.
Okay. Brian is playing Orcs.
Orcs.
I think.
Good.
He didn't like breaking submit demons.
Yes, he did not. I hope so anyway.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I submitted Gene Stealer Cult.
That's cool.
I think Jeremy submitted Votan.
Yep.
Josh is probably playing Chaos Space Marines.
Yep.
Nas might be playing Guard.
Nas better be playing Guard.
Olivier's definitely playing a team play Guard.
Yeah, that part I'm confident in. I don't know for certain, but I think so.
He's definitely playing Blood Angels, where the 18 Blade Guard bit is up in the air.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
Trenton is playing Death Guard with
Death
demons.
Guard. What?
With demons? Without demons? I don't
Yeah,
know
he
if
has demons. No one else has demons. So
Cool. There we go. So that's our team. We're very, very excited. We put in tons of knowing what everyone else is playing to this.
I did, at least. The person that yelled at people until they played the right things.
Yeah.
Anthony is permanently in the spot of corralling teams players into team formats.
Dude, it's the worst. I swear, on every team I'm a part of, I have to be like the Fox News dad of play the good thing. Like, no, this thing works already. Just please, god damn it. Just stick with no new shit. Just play the shit that we know works.
The number of different armies Brian and Nos between them tried to play.
Oh
I'm
my
fairly
God.
convinced that at one point one of them was like, "I'll play agents," and I wouldn't have been shocked if one of them had said that.
Oh, I thought you meant that just now. I was like, yeah, that probably happened.
Yeah, I think they
Believable.
every single thing. And honestly, if you told me that Brian was playing like Dread Mob, I'd believe you right now, even though I know he's playing Orcs.
Yeah.
Dread Mobs and Orcs army.
It is, yeah. He was talking about Morkanauts with more ardor than I think I've seen him over anything in his life.
Yeah, that's true.
I wanted him to have to bring one on his lap on the plane, just like
Just holding like his little baby child.
just like a baby. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's my emotional support Morkanaut to be gay agent.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how Trent got Mortarion to Home Nations. He just put him in like a little like baby thing in his chest.
Yeah, as you should. All right.
So yeah, that's our team. It's gonna be fun. Some GW tables with WTC pairings.
I love a GW table.
Yep, I'm just used to them enough from my.
I will be honest though, I'm not gonna have to play against Bile on the tipping point Super L's table, so I can live with that.
Yeah, that's true.
That
yeah,
was a little much.
It should be a good time. We're gonna stay at my good buddy Chris Finn's that's putting us up. So he's
we've got
he's
Super
excited.
Basement.
What's up?
We've got Super Basement.
Yeah, we've got Super Basement, very large basement for us to stay in. He's he's got some plans for the people to have a good time, so that should be interesting. We'll see how everyone does with that.
Only 2 games a day, and we finish at like 2 p.m. on the Sunday, which is pretty fucking great.
Yeah, that part should be tight.
Get plenty of time, and I'm actually staying in the US till the Wednesday, so I might actually do a little bit of stuff about like going and seeing New York this time, as opposed to a little bit of the road in and not anything else.
Seeing New York City sounds overrated. I won't lie.
You got driven around New York City for a bit.
I did, yes. We definitely saw a little bit of the circular road and one of the tunnels out.
Actually, there's a train that goes from by me to New York City, which is another one of your favorite things.
That was the plan, yeah. Yeah, right, Nathan. We're talking about trains now. Have you got the stats?
No.
I can keep going.
Yeah, keep going, man. Keep talking
Please
about BFS.
keep going.
It'll be fine.
Oh no, it's there. Never mind. I'm downloading it. Give me a second. I gotta download it first.
Off you go.
Give me a moment. Let me go parse a giant Excel sheet. Give me 5 seconds.
Yeah, you go and understand everything right now. We're gonna go into the ad segment. Hey everybody, if you're enjoying the show and you're 25 minutes in this time, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the sponsor bit early. That's a prize for everybody who normally tunes out an hour. if you're enjoying the show, please do remember to like, subscribe, do all the various social media things that help us out a ton with getting discovered and people seeing more of us. It's a really, really big support for us. And if you're in a position to do a little bit more, you can also check out Patreon and YouTube membership programs, both in the description. For $5 a month, you get access to our Discord server with things like the Vibe Check TTS League and discount codes for the Red Dragon, and just being able to variably harass us. The Gene Circle channel has been messaging me about things that, like, they'll tag me to be like, hey, when this wakes up, you'll be really mad about this. And then they'll just start talking about Brew Brothers for like an hour. And I have to go out, wake up and see the notification and have my day ruined at 11 a.m. when I wake up. Just usual great stuff. Yeah, so if you would like to do that, please do check out patreon.com/statcheck. You can also check out all the other shows on our network. That's youtube.com/statcheck. You can check out Take All Comers, End of the Matrix, and Champions of 40K, as well as us. We're here live every Tuesday at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we would love to have you for the live show if you're a podcast listener, or check out podcasts everywhere good podcasts can be found. You can also check out our sponsors. That's Red Dragon at red-dragon.ca. You can check out Saltar Games at their website. You can check out J15 Games, who did the awesome new little widgets that I showed off last week. They're in my bag now, and I'm not going to take them out again. It'll take too long. And Nathan's clearly waiting to get on the stats. He's not looking really confused into the scene right now about how many tournaments Orcs still won, probably. And
he doesn't look happy. That's for sure. Now he's muted.
He's muted. Yeah, it's fine. This is the plug segment, Nathan. Stop trying to steal my credit. You look confused. Right. And then
no, I fixed it.
Wayland Yutani, there we go. WT Terrain. You could also check out stat-check.com/coaching if you'd like to work with myself, Liam VSL, Nassim Fuchain, Lucas Troller, Nicholas Olsen Johnson, Tyler Bortel, or Pumbaa Polish word. You can check out stat-check.com/coaching or drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. We look forward to hearing from all of you. Please do enjoy the rest of the show. We'll be back for questions at the end. I'm not doing plugs again, though. That's the one for the show. Nathan, can you do stats now, or do I have to keep doing dumb stuff?
That's just you every day, Ines. Don't get it messed up.
Fuck you.
Every day is dumb stuff day.
I had to re-download it because Jeremy had to fix something. I will have it in about 3 seconds when I enable editing. Okay.
More words about things that are happening. God damn, Noise Marines are stupid, right?
You still
why does
really
tell us why?
Just not letting us go.
They have so many shots for no reason.
That's true.
Why does their gun have 12 shots at 621 ignore cover when they do the other profile? Why are they damage 3?
We are now ready.
That profile always makes me laugh, by the way. I'm like, why is it AP2?
It makes me upset. I'm not gonna lie.
I see that. It seems to. It's doing a great job at that thing.
Just good old 135 points for 24 goddamn shots. All at AP ignore cover.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. We can stop. We can stop with the thing, and we can go to the stats now. I swear.
Do it.
All right, everybody wanted stats, so we're going to give you stats. All right. They are pre-sorted by win rate, and I'm just going to read this fun little image. It's everything from the most recent stuff. You're just going to have to get over it. All right. At the tippity top, number 1 is Thousand Suns with 16 players, 1.3% meta representation, and a 56.5% win rate. Despite that win rate, though, no event wins, 1 top 4, 2 top 10s, and a 0.98 for overrep. Chaos Demons are in second with 84 players, 6.8% of the meta, which is a lot of the meta, really. A 54.6% win rate, 2 event wins, 6 top 4s, 12 top 10s, and a 1.12 for overrep. We then have Custodes in third, so Custodes players can stop complaining. I'm tired of it. Please just enjoy your faction being good.
Folger was blowing people up at Home Nations.
That's good. 7.2% of the meta, a 53.9% win rate, 1 event win, 7 top 4s, 18 top 10s, and a 1.24 overrep. Leagues of Votann in fourth, which is a strange place to see them. 2.6% of the meta, 32 players, 53.6% win rate, 3 top 4s, 5 top 10s, and a 1.48 overrep. And then rounding out the top 5 is Basic Space Marines. 62 players, 5% of the meta, a 52.6% win rate, 1 event win, 6 top 4s, 10 top 10s, and a 1.52 for overrep. Right underneath them, though, funnily enough, is Eldari with 97 players, a 7.9% meta representation, a 52.4% win rate,
and a frozen
top
something
fours
something.
and 20 top tens for a 1.46 over rep.
Basic Space Marines being in the top 5 is worrying.
That is very
shouldn't be allowed to be above 45%.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's a sign of insane. It's a sign of horrible things.
It is a sign of terrible things yet to come, I won't lie. At the bottom 5, we also have Space Marines, specifically Black Templars, though, who had 17 players, 1.4% of the meta, a 36.8% win rate, and 2 top 10s, but nothing else to speak of, so no overrep whatsoever. Second from the bottom is a faction I would not have guessed would be there is Astra Militarum. 76 players, 6.2% of the meta, a 40% win rate, 1 event win, 4 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 0.83 for overrep. I don't know what's going on with guard players. It's really just the win rate.
Guard have a better union than Eldar players by a long shot.
Yeah,
they seem to.
They definitely are working together better than the Eldar Union is. AdMech is third from the bottom, 24 players, 2% of the meta, a 40.6% win rate, 1 top 4, 1 top 10, and a 0.66 for overrep. Sisters of Battle are back in the bottom 5 at fourth from the bottom, 24 players, 2.0% of the meta, 41.5% win rate, and just a top 10 to speak of, so no overrep whatsoever. And then Blood Angels rounding out the bottom 5, 56 players, 4.6% of the meta, 45.2% win rate, 1 event win, 2 top 4s, 5 top 10s for a 0.56 overrep. Other event winners from the last few weeks are Drukari, who had 2 event wins, 2 top 4s, 4 top 10s for a 1.12 and a 45.9% overrep. And then Orcs, who had a 48.2% win rate, 1 event win, 4 top 4s, 10 top 10s, and a 0.95. Chaos Space Marines with an event win, a 48.8% win rate. And then Space Wolves with an event win, 2 top 4s, 5 top 10s, and a 49% win rate. And then Imperial Knights have an event win, 4 top 4s, 11 top 10s for 1.03. And then Gene Stealer Colts with 25 players, which is the most players I think GSC has ever had in their entire existence. 2%
that's all of us. That's every single person.
That is every single Gene Stealer Cult player. A 51.
That's the entire cult, bro.
It's true. It's the whole cult. A 51.8% win rate, 2 event wins, 2 top 4s, 3 top 10s for a 1.26.
Those are big numbers.
Necrons had an event win with 5 top 4s and 14 top 10s, a 52.2. And then Tyranids had an event win with a 52.3% win rate, 3 top 4s, 13 top 10s, and a 0.89 for overrep. And then Eldari still casually with their 3 event wins, which is the most of the last.
Eldari terrible though.
They're terrible. They're bad.
Just a 52.4% win rate. To be fair, it's a far cry from 62.
Yes, it is. The meta actually feels mostly okay from a stats perspective.
Yeah, like T-Sons are very small data set. Chaos Demons, basically Chaos Demons and Custodies at the top, and then like we'd start dropping into reasonable player win rates after that. Orcs at 48.2, dead army though, completely dead.
Bad.
I do think we have a problem with like a few factions that are kind of in doldrums. Like Sisters are still kind of in the bad spot after the buffs in the last slate. AdMech cannot get buffed into relevance, it seems like. And then I don't think Astra Militarum are bad. I just think that they have a low win rate and it's kind of down sorting them. And then Black Templars are just kind of in suffrage for a long time until
I assume AdMech have to be on the list for the new detachments that come out with the next slate, right? Like rather than giving them more buffs, you're just like, all right, cool, man. Here is the weaknesses. Here is a detachment that fixes them without turbo buffing that or something like that. Surely that's got to be a way to approach it.
What are you supposed to do to AdMech? They're just
goddamn no, dude.
They're just not that, there's not
they
that
need
fun.
They need a new book is really what the truth is of it. Like their book is just not particularly fun, and I don't know how you redo to make that book fun without completely.
At least Call's cheap enough to be completely playable now.
True.
I guess
you just print like Skitarii Hunter Cohort Plus.
Driving it down. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I do
Just
have
like
two
detachment
AdMech
rule,
players.
you get 2,400 points.
Yeah.
Like
There are two AdMech players though in the chat saying AdMech are perfectly fine and
Even
not to
more,
touch them.
you're just like, here is a detachment rule that just makes like everything with a vehicle add 1 to its stats. Just like that's it. It's just every stat on a vehicle model gets +1, and you're just like, that's fine. We'll make it work. The stoppers are damaged too now.
I guess. I don't know. Leave it alone.
Yeah. It is also possibly just okay that AdMech are bad for what remains of 10th edition.
They're not even that
Please don't say
bad.
what remains. Like it's got to be. It's at least another 12 months, right? We've got at least another year.
Sure, we've got another year
We
based
don't
on
even
the
have all the
3-year
codexes
cycle.
yet. We don't even have the codexes yet.
What do you want me to tell you it is?
Oh no, not that. That's the main thing. Is just don't tell me that.
You're not excited for
downhill slope
for
of the
WTC 26 11th edition?
Look, bro, if Noise Marines are more expensive, I am excited for it because Noise Marines might change. Let's go.
Just a man with, and this is a 1-issue voter, dude.
Yep. I'll vote for 11th if it makes noise. If it just removes Noise Marines.
Yeah.
To be fair to Jeremy in chat, who's questioning what I know, I don't know anything. I'm just assuming the 3-year cycle is correct.
What we need them to do, right? We've already got Old World, Heresy, AOS 40k. Maybe that's enough that they'll do 4-year cycles for editions because there's 4 games now.
Oh, dude.
Maybe. Ooh, there you go. Only one every year. That's 4. Yeah, look at that math. I like that.
That's
math.
fucking
That's some great math.
We can add in a Kill Team and Warcry. We get up to 6-year cycle. Those are not real games. They'll get half a year each.
Yeah,
So then
I was gonna say.
we can do a 5-year cycle.
Yeah, what?
What's the what are the standouts on that stats? Imperial Agents over at being 3.15 is very funny to me.
I mean, just no one plays them, right? So
It is
anytime they do
funny.
well at all, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, but the main things to me, the only overlap above 1.5 are Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines and Grey Knights. Grey Knights are doing it on a fairly low play rate. Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines continue to be the most confusing army in the game because I'm pretty sure they're just really good, but they also have a 48% win rate.
I mean, CSM have been a like top 5 army in the game from like a high level player anecdotal
From like
perspective.
day one.
Yeah, since they came out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They've just been good all. You could play nothing but CSM the entire edition and just be like,
yeah, you probably you could track a 95% 85% win rate with just pure CSM this entire edition.
Yeah.
Without sweating. Yeah, 100%. It's like them and Custodes are the only ones that you could like probably do that with.
No, Necrons.
Necrons?
Right?
And Necrons, sure. Yeah.
Necrons.
And like you could do worse.
I do feel like we still need to.
You'd have had a bad couple weeks, a bad couple months of Eldar, but
I don't know.
We will need to dig into the faction detachment data at some point and kind of break some of that down.
Yeah, well, once
inevitably a bunch of
once we can analyze that again, we will definitely start doing that. Yeah. Once we dealt with this the disturbance in the force.
Correct. And like once we have that data, it'll be worthwhile looking at like I think the last 4 weeks kind of all together since the slate and kind of making some more. I think it's only been 4 weeks. I don't know. Time's an illusion at this point. I don't
it's been 6 weeks since the slate because the Dock and Earth was a month out. So about halfway.
So we'll just have to do a 6-week, like maybe once the disturbance is fixed, we'll do like a 6-week in memoriam or something like that. I don't know.
How do we feel about the Dock and Earth in retrospect now with a couple weeks of data and a couple weeks of seeing events?
It's probably
It still won a couple things, right? Everybody took
Yeah,
tactical to Home Nations. That was notable, but
I mean that doesn't mean like
it doesn't mean everything, right? Like it's teams is not singles, but
yeah, there was plenty of reason to take DACA, but just not what ended up happening.
Yeah, for sure. DACA seems fine now.
DACA is probably still takeable in singles as well, like perfectly takeable if you want to take it.
Dude, if you don't play on very good terrain, DACA is scary.
Stompers with assault all the time is actually kind of terrifying.
It ain't fun.
Yeah, the stomp is just like one good point drop away from being like an utter menace, and I pray every slate that it doesn't get one.
I mean, just even the little dudes. The little dudes are still scary.
Oh, tank busters are still one of the best stations in the game, right?
No,
So
up a level. The smaller
Killicans,
stompas.
Killicans, Death Dreads, Morkanauts.
Morkanauts
Yeah,
and Gorkanauts.
the knight looking thing.
Yeah,
Morkanauts and
yeah.
Gorkanauts, yeah.
Just Morkanauts. But yes.
Just
I don't think the
sorry,
Gorkanauts
just
are-
Morkanauts.
I don't think the Gorkanauts are very good. As I recall, that's the bad one. I couldn't tell you the difference at gunpoint, but
Yeah. No, I would just die.
I mean, one is cunning but brutal, and the other is brutal but cunning.
Gorkanauts get +1 to hit in the wall for ranged attacks and have the Zappa thing, so they're the big
So
shots.
it's that one.
And then Gorkanauts get +1 to hit in melee in the wall and have the big 30-shot shooter gun that seems kind of bad.
Yeah, not that one.
So the Morkanaut, pretty sweet. One is bad but good. The other one is good but bad.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we could solve that. So stats are looking interesting. Definitely feels like a much more balanced better game. Shout out to Josh Roberts for winning an event with Blood Angels this weekend. Won the Glass Hammer Open with I wonder if that data sheet's really good. Can't imagine why we would be taking it to Battle for Salvation.
Can't imagine. Do we want to talk about
lots of
Death Guard and World Eater detachment previews?
Should we talk about the Death Guard character first? Because that guy's cool as hell.
Yeah. We should talk about the Lord of Boxes real quick.
I don't think we should talk about detachments without the full picture.
I mean, we could talk about like a couple of little things, like the contagion change for Death Guard is probably the only real big one.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about that one. I'll pin that for. Yeah. So the Death Guard, they confirmed that the contagion thing that they added to Play Company, that were like the pick a thing, you get the additional bonus, right? So the -1 save, -1 weapons skill, and -1 leadership have all tweaked a little bit. They're now on the army rule rather than being detachment rule, so you will get them in stuff like Flyblow and Host now, which is definitely interesting and definitely gives that detachment some interesting things to look at. And then they confirmed that the -1 leadership in OC1 now also hits movement, which is kind of interesting. And it also caps at -1, which I can't remember if it does for the time being. And then also the -1 to weapons skill plus +1 has become -1 to hit, which is definitely a downgrade. Because weapon skill plus skill hitting is significantly stronger than hitting movement, than hitting -1 to hit. Obviously doesn't stack with stealth, doesn't stack with shooting penalty in combat. No longer will we have Space Marine Devastators shooting have into -1 to hit, hitting on 6s, just good stuff like that, which, rest in peace. It was a great way to counter Kid Optic Court back in the day. Nurgling's +/-1 weapon skill, get those Wraiths onto 6s. But yeah, sadly, that will be gone.
No.
It will not be missed. It turns out old style invisibility wasn't a healthy mechanic. But yeah, going into the detachment rule does definitely mean that all of these attachments that we're looking at definitely goes to the added context of just mentally add 1 AP to every weapon, right? Because you're just going to pick save, especially since they nerfed the second best one, not the best one. It does kind of just mean that you will almost always just be picking save now, right? Unless you're playing as demons.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and even then, demons might not be -1 to hit either. Move might be better.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it might move that one down to being the third best one instead of the second best one, right? I think that's kind of what we'll be looking at. If you're playing against like mono Harlequins, maybe you're just like, okay, guys, why don't you just hit me on 4s? That I could see that being like a minor case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they put the new Death Guard character, who is 6 attacks, 8/22 lethal hits, devastating wounds, baby. Oh my god, it's a melee profile that doesn't suck on an infantry character.
Lethal in Dev is funny, right? Like, why?
It's definitely like it's always one of those things where with Death Guard where there's not just like that tiny bit of anti-synergy where they're like army rules are -1 toughness and lethal hits, which both just like don't quite
Why'd you do
quite
that?
synergize. And then they have tons of anti-infantry 2-up as well, right? It's just all right, man. So it's lethal, anti-infantry 2-up, and -1 toughness. Like these are all just saying wound better.
Right.
It feels like at this point just say auto wound and get on with it.
No.
But yeah, it's cool to see that on a character. He also gives 18-inch loan up and +2 to contagion range of only himself, not his unit, which is minorly notable, but definitely interesting.
I think that 18-inch loan up rule is fucking awful. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, it's like, all right, dude. Sometimes your Rhino, it means you can like put your Rhino in a more aggressive position so that if it gets popped, you fall out and you're safe. Stuff like that. But it's not like a delivery plan, right?
Getting to pummel them from outside their charge range inside their 18-inch loan op is the most disrespectful shit. of all time. Like,
it is definitely funny that you can still kite that unit despite the 18-inch loan op.
it's so rude.
I think gonna have the funniest time.
I think you could have given them actual loan op and it would have been fine.
Like load up 12. Yeah.
Yeah, just at 12. Just this unit is loan op.
Yep.
Probably yes.
He is just like a funny character. That lethal hits dev wounds anti-synergy is a little funny, but he's got like enough melee attacks that it's kind of fun.
Yeah, look, he might be all right in the end. He might even be good. But
he certainly adds a bit of juice to like if the like the foul blight one still goes fight first, right? He gives a little bit more like direct juice to his unit for something to fight first with. Some of that, like it obviously so much depends on the context of like what he costs points wise and things like that. But 6 attacks is a very big departure from most melee infantry characters who are kind of locked at 5 attacks at 5 to 722. He's a little bit past that.
Look, if all he, I mean, like if he could enable you to take smaller Plague Marine squads that are just like you, go forth and smack a man, you know.
Yeah, especially if Plague Marines have a real data sheet rule in the new book, as opposed to +1 leadership.
As opposed to fuck Tyranids.
The number of times I've had a Death Guard player complain about that and then pass the leadership test because of it, I'm just like, fuck off.
I hate you. Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you for passing that on a 5. But yeah, maybe they'll get a real. Maybe that's where they move Sticky to or something like that. I could see a bunch of different ways they change play.
I mean, almost anything would be better in those
literally just any
words almost would be better than the ones written there. Rules for units for models on a chessboard would be better than the current Plague Marine datasheet rule. If they were like this unit can move diagonally now. You'd be like, oh shit, that's better than what we got.
Oh word, yeah, no, that would definitely. It wouldn't be it'd be a very marginal improvement, but it would be one.
Sure.
Maybe Death Guard Cautless will get a datasheet rule this edition.
A datasheet at all.
That would also, yeah. Let's not go in for children route.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of cool. World Eaters, we didn't see a ton from. Mostly we just saw kind of data sheets without a ton of context. I will say with the last thing, the Poxwalker data sheet is the most. The Poxwalker is just getting 3 extra squads of them.
Dude,
the
free
most
Poxies.
Disrespectful shit.
I love that.
She's like, yeah, dude, you just get like an extra 200 points. That's your detachment rule.
That's cool.
It's reasonable, right? It's kind of interesting.
That should have been Green Tide's rule. You get a couple 10-man unit of boys.
If you made that for Nids, but it was 3 squads of 10 gargoyles.
Nope, not gargoyles. Nope. Hormigons.
3 squads of 10 gargoyles, bro. It'll be fine.
Nope.
Gargoyles.
Nope.
Yeah, gargoyles.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Endless, three of any 10 endless multitude models. You get to choose. Yeah, it'll be fine.
You can choose each one once.
Yeah, that's fine too. Gargoyles on 2. Don't care.
Yeah. That'd be so much worse than Invasion Fleet. Or whatever.
It still would be, yes. But it would at least make an Ending Swarm feel like an attachment again.
Maybe it's better that that's bad.
It's probably for the best. I hope that Poxwalker one is not great. I am just imagining the world where that detachment also says the Poxwalker's to battle line, and you need 100. You can run 150 of them. And then the book changes in 10th and 11th edition. You can only run 60 again. And then it's like
they just ping pong you back and forth.
Yeah. Every time they do like that battle line it always makes me like, but what if that goes away soon?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
Where's my 8-bound as battle line detachment, dude?
Yeah, you can own 72 8-bound in the next edition. You can only play 36 of them again.
Yep. I mean, there's no world. You can't fit 70. No amount of point cuts on 8-bound will allow 72 to fit in a list.
Yeah, they will be 20 points each. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Any hot takes on the World Eater stuff besides don't play the Rhino detachment?
Just don't get scammed by ground splinter transport.
Ground splinter.
Yeah. Don't be that person.
Ground splinter failed charge rather than assault.
It's clearly blood splinter. Come on.
No, ground splinter. None of that shit flies. Yeah, don't get. I don't know. Maybe the rest of the rules in the detachment will be good, but like I get real nervous about your
rule only worked in a transport.
Yeah, just transport rules is like
Mercurial Host is kind of cool for children. Still not better than just having
rapid
better
restoration.
Stuff. Yes, the fast one.
Okay.
I don't know the names of the ones that aren't Carnival and Gory.
Mercurial Host lets you reroll advances as a detachment rule.
That sounds great. It sounds great. I've never seen an
I do
Emperor's Children
kind
play
of
that didn't roll all sixes, so I wouldn't fucking know. But
the Idols of Corn one just seems funny. Not good, but just funny, because it definitely is just a bunch of cultists with their giant fuck all angry machine.
I mean, those are cool. That one's sweet.
Yeah.
I can very easily see a world
just
where
think
that
it's-
attachment's not that great. It ends up getting buffed to just like have any of them active any turn kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that one becoming too much very fast. That one's a balancing mistake away from just being like, whoops, the game sucks for 3 months.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, there's two demon princes. They've got the Emperor's Children wording, so they get blown up next to infantry. Also 120 jackals and 65 goremongers and 2 squads of fleshhounds for uppy
It's
downy.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody in like another country will make it work like brilliantly. I don't know who.
Dude, Anthony and I are gonna be with the same army if that's good.
It ain't gonna be me.
You'll be
I
on
would
World
go-
Eaters, and I'll be on World Eaters.
Yeah.
It won't be the same detachment.
Dude, I would run back to CSM so fast if that was the way to play World Eaters. You wouldn't even see me again. I'd be like, "Who? World Eaters? I don't even play World Eaters."
Never heard of those guys.
I've never played a World Eater in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're like Angron, you can just like you look out
I'm not
in
the-
Anthony's back garden, you can just like see Angron's wings sticking out like the ground, just like come
Knock
over. It's just like there's just like
He's
this
actually going to use them to
hastily
scare
covered farm.
pigeons now.
Yeah. I mean, that's
That's
basically what he does now. He sits on my
That's what
windowsill.
Pickles is for.
No, Pickles doesn't do anything. Pickles does this all
Yeah,
day.
Pickles is asleep on the cushion next to Anthony.
Dude, there's a whole
is
bed
like, yeah,
behind
that'll
me, by
scare
the way, that
pigeons.
she could be sleeping on, and Anna gives me a lot of shit about this. She went to move this the other day, and I was like, dude, no, where's Pickles gonna sleep? And she was like, the fucking bed? And I was like, no, this. That's her
Fair.
spot.
Officially my favorite thing. I get it.
Well,
I get it, Cat.
we will
I do.
be keeping an eye on all of the World Eaters and Death Card stuff as it comes out. I guess this means that they're doing Thousand Sun Space Wolves joint release, given that those are the next two that they've said they're
That is
coming out.
funny.
I mean, they need to get some joint releases going if they would like to get everybody a book before the
For the
before
heat
the
death of the
stage.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
I am excited because based on current projections, we should have the book on the 10th of May is the release based on current projections, which means I could take it to my super major in Germany, which is an interesting choice for Death Guard or World Eaters if either of them are good.
Would you play World Eaters in singles? That doesn't seem like a thing you would do.
Why not? I'll play it. I'll play whatever's broken as long as it's
Okay.
in my wheelhouse.
All right.
I can borrow World Eaters. It wouldn't be that complicated.
I don't think it'd be complicated. I just think you'd be mad.
Yeah, probably. I'd prefer to do the Death Guard side, but
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
I like the
That
idea of
makes
I like the idea of Plagueburst crawlers just doing that again. It's fun. I like having indirect.
sense. God.
I know. I'm an indirect sicko. I am. I like having it. It like smooths over all of my gameplay interactions. All right. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes and then we'll jump into questions. You two can vamp among yourselves.
Oh,
Did
we
you
get to
play-
vamp? Oh boy.
Did you play the Baldur's Gate 3 update yet, Nathan?
I have not. I have not played any video games since moving here because all I have is my laptop, and so I don't have a TV even. So I was watching WrestleMania over the weekend on my tiny little laptop screen, which actually wasn't so
I
bad.
thought you were gonna say just like on your phone in bed, just like, all right, well,
Look, I definitely have been watching things on my phone while in bed. Our furniture is pretty limited right now because we're sending all the furniture from Chicago to here. So
oh, you
The
weren't just like,
furniture
ah,
need
fuck
to-
it, bin that shit and donate it, buy new stuff at the new place.
no, yeah, we are getting rid of a bunch of furniture in Chicago, but my wife also needed furniture in order to continue to exist in our apartment in Chicago while she finished teaching for the semester.
Got
And
it.
I wasn't going to leave her without like a bed and things like that because that seems kind of cruel and unusual of a thing to do. I did. Seth is actually accurate. I brought a bed, a laptop, a microphone, and a 3D printer. Actually, I bought that 3D printer when I got here.
Really? That was your
Um,
signing bonus to yourself? You were like, all right,
It was.
bam.
It was my gift to myself. And then I'm selling the 2 printers that are in Chicago because I don't want to ship them because I'm not sure what the fuck would happen to those 3D printers if I shipped them from Chicago to here
That's
in
fair.
a U-Haul container.
It doesn't
like-
seem like good stuff.
No, like I will tell people moving cross country is terrible. Please don't do it. It is awful in every single sense of the way.
Yep.
We have to fly our cats here in like 2 weeks. The same weekend as BFS, I'm flying back to Chicago, picking up our cats and then flying them to Boston.
I mean, are you just going to hold them?
Yeah, we're putting them in containers and putting them under the seat in front of us, basically. So they're going to be carry-on cats.
Nice.
I don't know, man.
Boom, got
it.
It
Is freaking yeah. I moved. Sorry, half cross country, half country. I moved half country. Look, I moved half a country and moved across the entirety of fucking Europe in the process, basically.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I did also move across the part of the country that is nice. Although not as pretty because the mountain states have like all the beauty of the country basically for the most part.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the natural beauty of this country is on the western part of it.
It's locked into the mountain time zone.
Yeah. And then like the Midwest is just cornfields, and then it's okay in the East Coast. Like it's not ugly or anything, but
That's
also it's
by me is quite nice.
Yeah.
Surviving Ohio. He didn't get dysentery.
I did not get dysentery.
Hey,
I did. I will say that WrestleMania was great fun, though. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but I started watching it while I was in Chicago with some friends of ours, and then WrestleMania was a good capstone to that. It was pretty fun.
Weren't people super mad about it? I remember seeing something.
Some people were disappointed. I don't want to spoil it if anybody's saving it who's on our stream. I'm gonna be polite about it.
That's a future us problem then.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. The last match of the night was not very good in the final third of it, and kind of disappointing. Yes, and to quote Andrew Stone saying the Appalachian Mountains are beautiful, it's true. Mountains just generally are beautiful. That's just
they're pretty sick.
Mountains are pretty.
Yep.
Right. Unless you don't see the castle that's on top of it inside of a major city. I don't know. Although I guess it's more.
The mountain was cool. I just didn't see the castle. You know.
There you go.
Next.
All right.
All right. Anus is back. We can start talking about 40K again instead of talking about like American scenery and things.
Hey, I mean, American scenery, Canadian scenery. That's what I'm there for sometimes.
True.
It's true. You did see some of the most beautiful of the scenery in North America, so there is that by going to Niagara.
All of the stuff around Niagara Falls was awful for what it's worth. Like, it's just like a shopping mall. It's terrible, but it's all
yeah.
They had a combination Subway weed store.
Look, where weed is legal in the United States, they've made it into an identity in a lot of ways for small towns to make money. Border towns in particular.
I'm not gonna judge. Like, I appreciate Subway cornering their demographic, but like, look, I'm pretty sure that like if Subways pump, like, do they just grab like an extra couple sandwiches every hour, just stick them in the vents to like make the smell outside the shop? I think you just do that with like a sandwich and a something of weed. I don't know the demarcation.
Something of weed.
Yeah, something of weed.
An amount of weed. Yeah, you smell like Subway and weed. You're just like perfect.
Man,
they take a sandwich and one weed.
one singular weed, please.
That's good.
I wish we could name this episode Manual Stats and One Weed, please.
Yeah. One weed to go.
All right, let's do the first question.
Now's a good time.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm pulling up the questions.
Okay. As always, there are 3 ways to get your question asked on and answered on the show. 1 is to just ask a really good question in chat. 2 is to leave a super chat on the YouTube live show. And 3 is to be a member of the Patreon Discord and just ask it in the question thread every week. That's generally the one I would recommend because we can't guarantee asking a good question. But yeah, there you go. That's all I got. Nathan,
all right,
done
into
yet?
the question thread I go.
To the content mines.
I have to go into the content mines and mine some content. All right, we have 15 posts in the question thread. The first question is just from Isaac saying questions thread ? And it is sure. The end. That is it.
It was the question.
First,
it's true.
It's true. And the first question is from Nick K, who says, any factions surprise you, good or bad, with their performance at home nations?
CK looked rough. I don't think many of them did particularly great. I know the Belgian one did pretty well, but
Lucas
outside
did
of
well.
that, and Lucas did pretty well. I think outside of exactly those two teams, which were the first and second, every other CK performance looked a little middling or poor.
I think CK is good, but not the nightmare that it's made out to be a lot of the time.
People have a lot of prep. People have got a lot of chance to play against good CK, I think, is another thing as well.
Well, I think the main thing with CK is that it's like genuinely surprising how easy it is to like trip into having damage against CK. Like if you have like lethal, good grenade access, fucking tank shocks and stuff, like it's easy to just be like, oh shit, I don't know what happened. Like Emperor's Children, right? In theory, not great in a CK. But there's a whole bunch of like Lance, Strength 10, Wound Rerolls, Charge Mortals, all the
Yeah, I
keywords that I
definitely
just
like
talked about a second ago.
accidentally tabled CK when I was playing a couple games of EC.
Yeah, you can just be like, oh,
It's like,
shit.
oh, I rolled slightly hot on Blastmasters, and that one's dead now.
Yeah, bye. Yeah.
Yeah, CK was definitely the one that stood
Second
out to
question.
me. The other one was generic Space Marines. Generic Space Marines didn't look super hot. But there was like one or two that did okay, but mostly they were kind of middling.
Yeah.
Second question is a series of questions from Frank, which actually I don't mind. We already talked about our thoughts on the previewed stuff for Death Guard and World Eaters. Second question is, how much of an overhaul does T-Suns need to be just good as a codex? If the Primarchs are all getting slapped with power reductions, what would T-Suns need to compensate?
I think that changing the army rule will go a long, long, long way for T-Suns. You just need to ratchet back how much like cup game nonsense is happening with
The psychic powers could just be data sheet abilities, guys. It wouldn't be that crazy.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit they could do. I just like a change of some stripe to the army rule. I think will go an extremely long way for them.
Yeah, I would probably agree. It would also be nice if like the flamer and the bolter rubrics were different points costs, so there was a reason to maybe consider using a flamer, not using a flamer ever.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's a bunch of there's a lot they could really do with Thousand Suns.
But Mulith Vortex Beast back to AOS only.
Yeah. Replace the Mutalith with like a Castellax, like the big Heresy Knight robot thing. That'd be pretty fun.
Literally anything. Replace it with like Magnus's like glowing orb that you can run as like a bonus buff to Magnus. You can play, like Magnus, you can buy psychic powers to put on the table like in Sigmar.
Like
just
an
get rid
AOS,
of,
an endless spell.
Just get rid of the Sigmar, the actual Sigmar model.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna give the Slaughter Brute to World Eaters.
Just saying.
Fair enough. All right. Which Emperor's Children coterie build do you think will have have more singles impacts? Sakos with the 10 infractors, or the 3 at times winged prince build?
I think if you're not playing Tri-Prince, you're trolling, unless you're Sako, and most people aren't Sako, so play Tri-Prince.
The Tri-Prince definitely looked weaker at the weekend, but there was only one person playing it from Home Nations.
So much more forgiving. Like, you trade a Rhino and a spawn unit, or like a Rhino and 5 infractors for another completely broken datasheet. Like, it genuinely blows my mind that people aren't running through. It's so fucked up as a unit.
Yeah.
What do you
I think they're gonna go up. Where do you think they stop going up if they're gonna go up over the course of the next like 18 months?
I mean, I think they should go up to like 220 and then we just work backwards from there.
Or potentially forwards. There's a world where that's not enough, right?
Sure, yeah. But I think if you just like, I would do like 5 points on Noise Marines, change nothing else, maybe like spawn come down, and then wing princes to fucking 220, and then just move on from there. They're such a dumb unit.
They're very stupid. They're very stupid.
And it's compounded by coterie, don't get me wrong, but they're good in like a bunch of the detachments.
Yep, agreed. Wayne Prince is -1 damage and super fast and does charge morals.
Yeah.
Mostly the fast and charge morals. The other stuff is
the -1 damage is fucked up too.
Yeah. Ignore the strength 8. The strength 8 doesn't matter.
-1 damage is actually quite fucked up.
Yeah.
-1 damage is good. -1 damage. We've said this on the show like the last 4 weeks. -1 damage has been basically broken everywhere it's been except exactly Redemptor Dreadnoughts.
And even then, really they had to go up a bunch in cost.
Yeah,
right?
they're just really good and have gone up like at least 30 points this edition.
Yeah.
And they don't move
And then
14
the last
and
question
then advance
from
the charge.
the last question from Frank is, how fucked up are head takers going to be in Space Wolves? Sure, because surely handing out targeted dev and precision access to a unit can have characters like Ragnar Blackmane lead them. Surely won't be problematic.
Like, Ragnar already just really struggles to kill his targets, right? That's the thing Ragnar has issues with.
Well,
wait, no, hold on. I'm thinking of not Ragnar.
I mean, just like in general, we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see what rules he gives them and what rules he gives, like how that all plays together. But I don't.
If they have to take the wolves, if the wolves are models,
right? Are they
get
like attached to
transports?
them? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, like let's wait until we've actually seen some rules. We don't like to speculate here.
No,
it sounds like a cool ability. I hope it's good. I hope it's not broken.
I hope that's the path they take for wolves in general. More like dudes with cool armor, and less Wolfenson.
Wolf.
Yeah, they're called head takers instead of wolf paw huntermans.
Yeah, wolf paw huntermans. That's what I was worried they were going to be. So yeah,
the wolf paw howl pack.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I could do with less.
I don't know. I'm intrigued by that army because I really like
yawns.
the sculpts that they've come out with. So it'd
they
be
have
cool
some
to
sick
see
stuff.
what that army ends up looking like.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bjorn and Murderfang. Hopefully,
we'll see.
Or put them in redemptor chassis.
That would be sick.
10,000 years hasn't put Bjorn down, so maybe we'll see Bjorn resculpted. That would be kind
they're
of cool.
just they're a redemptor dreadnought upgrade kit. It's just an alt head.
You can stick the whole old model actually inside of it.
Yeah.
Just put it inside.
He's got little dangling feet that go in the
like a
it's a baby
dreadnought
carrier for the old dreadnought. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm
What's
here for
next?
the Lord of War being Bjorn baby carrier. I'm here for it. Actually, let's do it.
It's actually Bjorn using Murderfang as a nunchuck in a redemptor dreadnought.
Yeah. Jesus.
Just 2 nunchucks. Yeah.
What have you got? Right. These are my dreadnought chucks.
Look, the old Bjorn model, when it was made out of pewter, probably could have been used as something to put in a sock to beat somebody to death with. There is no lie.
As you should.
No.
Right. That's how we do it.
Has the players. Oh, wow. Garan's question is a bit of a technical question for teams. If your comp is WE Warband, Chaos Knights, Blood Angels, Inheritors, Eldar, Aspect Warriors, and AdMech, Halo Screed, how would you pair into a comp with EC Coterie, Astra Militar, Bridgehead, Blood Angels?
Go on stat-check.com/coaching. You message Pumbaa and you ask for pairings advice. Sorry, man, we're not going to do a pairing strategy for you on the podcast. Apologies.
Yeah, it's too many steps.
It would be a lot, yeah. Or you can go just into the StatCheck Discord and
post your matrix and be like, hey, what do you guys think? Blah blah blah. Like, there's tons of ways you could do this, but it's not us doing your matrix for you on the show.
Yep. All right. Mark Toot asks, with the one Grey Knight player at Home Nations running index detachment, how do you see Grey Knights working in a team setting as well as in signals? In singles? Which detachments would work for each?
You should be playing Warpbane in both settings. Anyone trying to play index is coping.
I think that's fair.
I'll leave it at that.
Sean,
the 30 Terminators list at Toronto was kind of annoying to pair against the supply drop in Teleport Strike Force.
Yeah, that list is not very good. Index is just like pure unadulterated cope right now. You just want to think about how smart you are with your big brain misplays.
Fair. Sean asks, what is your least favorite emoji? My most favorite emoji is still the England flag face. Oh boy. That's a good one, actually. I do think the England flag is the worst emoji.
Yeah. I can get on board with that.
I thought for you, surely for you guys it'd be eggs, but
nope.
Sam Lemon asks, if money within time was no object, what are some of the changes you'd like to make to the StatCheck business? Wow.
I would just make us look more professional, right? We would all have better equipment. We'd have real backgrounds. Like,
we would all be full time on just doing this stuff and content and stuff. If we could afford, there'd be tons of stuff we would do. It's hard to say because we don't really think like that. I suppose we kind of tend to think about doing things that are within range of what we can do.
Right.
Obviously, stat check offices, right? We'd all be in the stat. We'd all be the stat check offices. We'd have gaming tables all around the place. It'd be great.
Yeah.
We'd be in like Iceland or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Somewhere
if
where it
time and
never
money
gets
were no
cold, right?
object.
Yeah, we'd have like the stat check complex in the Maldives, and we'd all all we do is we'd play tournaments and live in the Maldives and do stat check stuff.
We'd truly be the wise men in the mountains. That's the Maldives is in the mountains, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The wise men in the mountains of the Maldives.
Awesome. I like that idea. It sounds really great now, especially with the United States as a complete and utter dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Bali, maybe. Yeah, we could really. I could see this.
We could figure it out. Isaac asks, "What's a detachment that's good and is underrated, and why is it Brood Brothers?"
Next question.
Next.
If you don't answer this earlier, how long till Elo/stats come back? We didn't really talk about it earlier, but we're hoping that it's brief and we should be back into full fighting shape soon, is what we'll say. Some of that depends on just some
Jeremy's availability
in the system being worked out,
and
Jeremy's availability with a new job, and we'll figure it out. Don't worry, it will be coming soon. TBD, I promise.
We will not take away your Elo.
Yep.
Except yours.
Well,
Isaac.
we might.
We'll
take Isaac specifically away.
Isaac specifically, yeah.
In fact, every time somebody asks that question, I will take 10 Elo off of Isaac.
Oh, off of Isaac. Not even them. Sad.
Yeah, nope. Just
hey, Nathan, when's Elo coming back? Nathan, when's Elo coming back?
Wow. That damn Isaac, you got to stop people from asking this question. That's already 30 Elo gone.
Yeah, you got to get in front of
He doesn't even have. Does he have 30 to lose?
No.
Well, you start with whatever.
I mean, from 1500, right? Like, we're not going to set him below 1500. That'd be rude.
No, we are. We're going to keep going. We're going to find
when's
out
Elo
what
back?
the bottom is. Oh boy.
When's his Elo back?
That's 40 now. Oh,
next.
Boy.
Record us in the chat.
Aaron asks, if you see the mission choices before tournament, how do you use it to make your list or even army choice? What factors make your decisions here?
Is there Purge the Foe? Don't submit a Biovore.
I mean, honest to God, I've looked at missions for a tournament and then not gone before.
If they're gonna make me play like supply drop and
servo skulls and shit.
Servo skulls, yeah, we ain't doing that. Mostly, I just kind of don't. I like it. Maybe it changes like list consideration for like little bits. So, like if you're playing a bunch of Searcher Troy, maybe I lean towards something a bit more aggressive. There's a bunch of, like 6 objective tipping point or 6 objective hammer and anvil. Play something that can like get the plays really good secondaries because the game's gonna be about that. But mostly, it's not a huge consideration.
Yeah.
Once a list's good, it tends to just kind of be good. As long as you know the terrain format you're playing on, right? The terrain format's more impactful than the missions generally.
That's reasonable. All right. Isaac where did Jeremy has a question because I went to the bottom of my question request. How the fuck did I have the patience to do this manually before? I don't know, Jeremy. I also used to do it manually before in the long olden days, and I don't know how I did it.
Or lack of a better option, but once you develop a better option, it's really hard to go back to doing it the other way, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know. We should never do this manually ever again. Aaron has another question, which is, Innis, have you introduced these Yanks to Tatty scones yet?
Yes.
I am fairly convinced I made Anthony try them, and they were pretty good, right?
It was good.
Nathan, you may have also had one when we took you for breakfast rolls. Or maybe you had one Christmas.
Honest to God,
it's like a sheet of potato.
I think the best thing that I ate the entire time that I was in Scotland, and I've spent a lot of time in Scotland, was that egg sandwich thing we ate when I was giga hungover. And do you remember this? Your dad drove us somewhere, and along that way involved a stop at a place that made an egg sandwich, and I was just like, oh, thank Christ.
One of the best meals that I had there was definitely that breakfast sandwich as well, because it was like black pudding, and then like
you had the one that you had Chris's one.
I had Chris's sandwich, and it was delicious. It was so good, and now my mouth is watering because I'm quite hungry.
I'm gonna go make breakfast tomorrow morning. That's
that. The day before that started with a dragon soup for me and ended with us drinking in wherever the fuck we were. So the next day I felt like death, like just awful, just about as bad as it gets type of hangover. Not quite Alpine bad, but up there. And that was an experience.
Well, we'll get to do it all again at WTC this year.
True.
All right. The next question is, oh man, where was I even? Oh, here it is. Also from Aaron. How much do you think experience playing against a faction has to do with its win rate?
A decent chunk. Eldar keeps going down.
Yep.
Isaac has a question next, which is Clark. Do you think T-Sons have a good win rate right now because of the armies dominating the meta? Or it's just because faction experts are still playing the army?
All 4 people playing that army are having a great time.
Anecdotally, I think most of the people that I would normally mark as like the super high level T-Sons pilots are not playing it right now.
Yeah, TJ's not on it. Alex Farrell's not on it. Vic's not on it.
Yeah, like
even
Liam
Troxer might still be playing it.
Yeah,
I have no idea what Troxer's
It's
doing.
broadly not seeing a ton of adoption right now. I do think it's still quite good, and we'll see how it goes.
Aaron has another question, which is, how do we save Sisters without making it a horde army or making Miracle Dice too oppressive?
I think Sisters are genuinely extremely good right now. I think Hollowed Martyrs is really strong. I think there's legs in the weird Champions of Faith thing that Quentin and Nick love.
Ireland had it at Home Nations. It put up a pretty good performance day 2, and then a pretty good performance day 1, pretty rough performance day 2. But just like, man, watching something charge Vol get heroicked by a Canoness, that Canoness shouting, look at me, popping into a vulnerable save, not dying, and then Vol just like annihilating the thing it's in combat with is horrible, and I hate watching it happen.
I think the other stuff in Sisters could do with being better. Like, they could definitely buff, they could probably buff the fuck out of Penhost, and it wouldn't make that much of a difference. But like
Arcos, Castigators, Vol, and like Canonesses, and a few other bits like that are all genuinely still pretty good.
It's really hard to argue against Hollowed Martyrs. Like, that detachment just fucking owns. And a lot of the stuff in the game right now that is good is really vulnerable to Arcos.
Or does not get it, or is like a single point of hates punching a Canoness with its entire unit.
Sure, yeah, not happy about that either, right?
All right. Isaac has the next question, which is, are Noise Marines confirmed for CSM allies?
Nope, and God may let's hope it stays that way.
Next question is from Charles. Do we have a May RTT date yet, Anthony?
No, I'm working on that still.
Eric,
there's a charity event.
Next question is, which are you?
There's a charity event in May. Yeah, people could do that.
That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have time and I can come down to it. We'll see.
That'd be sick. May 17th.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do, bud. All right. Eric Cultus Chan has a question, which is, what are your 3 least favorite armies in 40K?
Emperor's Children, Orcs, and Orcs.
3 least favorite armies? Like, my 3 least favorite armies to play against?
Or just in general?
I fucking hate playing against Tau. Who else? Tau's the one that just like off rip every time. I'm just like, ugh.
Every time I look at a Riptide's defensive profile, I'm like, you're too cheap. I understand that you're not, but you're too cheap.
I just never make it to the Riptides. I have to get through waves of shit while the Riptides tear me in half, and it's really bad every time.
The entire time the target player's completely out, it does no damage.
Yeah.
Dude, like, God, this Riptide does nothing. Meanwhile, it's activated 35 times in the last 7 games.
Some of the most stressful, like, WTC prep last year was helping Ganyo get ready. Because if you let Ganyo touch Kion, like if Ganyo gets to turn 3, you're fucked. Everybody's dead. Everybody in your army is gone the minute that buff gets turned on. So, and you can't even really rush him on 2 because then the fusion suits pop over with Exemplar and blow you apart. Oh, God. It's so stressful. Yeah. Tau, Custodes, and I don't know what the last one would be, really. Pretty much everything else I can find some joy in playing. Those 2, just the whole time I'm tilted.
I despise orcs with a level that I cannot begin.
Oh no, I've maintained this even now, even through like Tank Bust to Hell and Tactical and Warhorde being better than my army at its own melee thing. Like I would play, if I could play nothing but orcs from now until I quit 40k, I would accept that burden.
The orcs, Drakari, and right now Emperor's Children, but long-term Chaos and long-term Imperial Knights are my least favorite 3.
Yeah.
It's not even because I lose Imperial Knights. I just despise the gameplay of playing against them.
Yeah.
For me, it's literally just Custodes 3 times. I'm tired of Custodes players.
That's fair. They did pass the 4 up against you. They did pass the 4 up against you doing damage to them. Then the field of pitting is the second one, and they finally jumped on the third instance of you picking them.
Folger this morning told me a story about how someone snuck a Melta shot past his invuln and did 8 damage, and he took 1. And I was like, "You're the worst. That's terrible. You should have picked up the model as a courtesy." Ugh, awful, awful, truly awful. I don't even roll feel no pains if someone gives me an 8 damage Melta save. I don't even pretend. I'm just like, all right.
Custodians are prepared, like, oh man, I took a damage. God damn it.
Yeah. I didn't win this game on a 2-up, says the Custodes player. How do I even cope with myself?
Reroll the ball.
No. Yeah. All right. And then Rickard has the final question from the Discord, and then I'm going to grab a couple from chat. What is the absolute worst meme list you can think of? I personally think it's Brood Brothers with no guard.
Brood Brothers with no GSC. Let's do it.
There you go.
No, it's got to be Veiled Blade Task Force running all 4 assassins, right?
Look,
there's just nothing redeemable for that Vindicare assassin. There's nothing redeemable.
That's fair. It is the Vindicare assassin who ruins that list.
Nothing so else. Bad. Why do I have to pay 40 extra points to run this shit model?
It's true. All right, and I have a few questions start from chat. There are 2 super chats from Daniel Paulini. Thank you for the $5 love for the love god, or just showing some love to the violence and the stats dad. And then an additional $2 super chat and one for Innes so he doesn't bully me.
Oh wow, I'm worth 50 cents less than those 2.
It's true.
Love you really, Dan. Thank you for your super chats. It's greatly appreciated.
Seth has a question that I thought was kind of funny, which is, has WTC Prep driven Anthony to drink hard alcohol while watching TTS?
Oh, we're not even nearly there yet.
Close yet. That's when the data slate drops a week before list submission, and Anthony's got to learn how to play goddamn like unending swarm Tyranids or something like that because no one else on the team plays it.
I just need my book to come out is kind of where I'm at right now. I just need World Leaders to release so that I can start testing properly. And then I need to get it into a position where I feel like it's like a fixed thing. And I'm like, oh, I know what I need to know about this so that the June whatever the fuck can fuck with that. And hopefully it's just not like too much of the fucking with that. And we'll see how it goes.
The next question is from the Blue Eagle 8900, which is any streamers streaming BFS?
So do have a couple things to talk about with that. Yes, Joe from War Games Live will be streaming there. And also on the Thursday before the event, at some point on that day, John Lennon and I will be doing a charity stream game on War Games Live. The details are still to be completely ironed out as far as what charity we're playing for, what the stakes will be, and all that kind of stuff. But there will be a bunch of stuff coming through. But we will both be playing there. We will be playing our Battle for Salvation Armies, which for me is going to be Gene Stealer Cults, and we're going to have a great time. Lennon and I were chatting about it when we saw each other the weekend. So yeah, do check out that for War Games Live, both for the stream game and for the stream event, which will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday for that event. There will be 2 games a day. I want to say it's starting like 9 a.m. Eastern on all the days, which is 2 p.m. UK time and various other times across the world. Other time zones may vary.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I ran out of things.
Yep.
And then the last question is from Oliver DJ Gamer TV, also known as James McClough. Innes, where did you eat after Home Nations? We went to Lucky's Diner.
We ordered from idiots on the QR codes on the tables because we didn't want to leave the venue. I think we ate there. We were there Wednesday till Sunday. I think we ate there 5 times because leaving the venue was more effort than it was worth.
And then I won't lie, I just want to ask this question because of the username. It's Chainsaw Biceps.
Oh, hell yeah, Chainsaw Biceps.
And it's happy or sad about the World Leaders previews so far on Warcom.
So far, it looks good. Slaughterbound is basically exactly what I asked for. We'll see how the rest goes.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other, but Anthony told me that I shouldn't be excited about those detachments, so I'm not. Because everything I've ever known about World Leaders, Anthony has told me.
Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that like, from like a pure nerd perspective, I hope shit that wasn't good before can be good, so I can have a reason to get it commissioned, right?
Forge Fiends.
I mean, no, fuck that. Like Demon Princes and shit, like Hellbirds.
Well, surely you'll just have those ready for your Emperor's Children anyway, right? You wouldn't need to.
I would absolutely get different models for this. I would never use the same thing for that. There's no world.
I will
Live
say
very different lives.
Yeah.
The one thing I love is that Slaughterbound is just so mad that models come back to life. That makes me intensely happy that he's just so mad he gets people back up.
Oh
I
yeah.
love that he's the Exalted or 9-bound.
Someone like I don't know what the tankiness of 8-bound are exactly like yet, but like I foresee a world where someone like low rolls doesn't kill you, and instead of like you get an extra one. Oh, that's gonna be bad if that gameplay cycle happens. Like that's like world leaders are not supposed to come back to life besides Dad. That's his job. But like when other ones start resin,
Anthony is ready to scam every other player at WTC out of their lunch money.
yeah, someone's gonna be pissed.
And he's gonna get a secret mission off the back of a red that shouldn't have happened, into a flip of home objective, into a that guy's actually my warlord because I'm not running anchor anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Into lifting a monolith from somebody that really didn't expect their monolith to die, into
Classic,
it exploding.
Dude. A tale as old as time, dude. Monoliths and me killing
Anthony
them.
and monoliths are a match made in the war in heaven.
Yep.
All right, guys.
That is it for questions. So
as always, thank you everybody for being with us. Nathan's going to do my least favorite part of the show now, which is his awkward weird bit. So you can go do your awkward weird bit now, Nathan.
Cool. Thanks, Ines.
You're welcome.
The awkward weird bit is actually the thank yous for the people who belong to the Chris Pie 5 tier on our Patreon, which is our $15 a month tier. If you join it, you get thanked and you get a bunch of other personalized benefits if you see us in person. And I'm going to read off all the thank yous because you get to customize them. And I might as well read off your custom thank yous. Thank you to Christopher. I missed Nathan. Glad he is back. I can watch the show again live. Irvine. Thank you, Willow Weeks. Thank you, Dan F. Thank you, Luke. Dan F. McCarthy. Thank you, David. Luck has. Needs keeps. Need keeps. Toil earns. Clark. Thank you, EI ear. Thank you, James H. Thank you, Colton. Dan F. Miller. Thank you, Fungus. Thank you, John V8 Gang. G Bill. How come your mom lets you have 2 CSM codexes? Thank you to Cam, Fdan, Morton, Hog Emoji, Hog Emoji. Thank you to Archon Rahal. Too busy watching Pickle behind Anthony to think of something funny this week because here at Eldar Union, we're better than you. Thank you, Josiah Gattle. Thank you, Frankie. Sus me, baby. One more time, fresh. Thank you, Isaac. I won an event. When will I see that reflected in my Elo Tirada? Wow. Thank you.
When Elo updates.
I can't believe that thank you just cost Isaac 10 Elo points. Thank you. This space intentionally left blank. Thank you, Thomas. I once found a legal way to include a warhound in a Gene Sealer cult army for cohesion. Thank you, Stephen. Give Wraith's pistols actions back. Ross. Damn. I am not reading well tonight. Thank you to Tom. The GSC elite abuse their position to hide their sins behind the masses. H. Thank you. I have a little heater on my home office desk that I occasionally turn on to make myself almost as cozy as super heavy walkers, having a true line of sight at all times. Thank you to trusting that Tau will be fixed next time. Italicized next to emphasize it.
Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting us at the $15 a month tier. If you'd like to get your name or your vague insult of somebody else read out at the end of the show, we are happy to provide such a service. Otherwise, best of luck if you're at tournament this weekend. If you're at one and we're at them at the same one, come say hi. Anthony's running an RTT this weekend, right? So there you go. Go say hi to Anthony. If you're at Battle for Salvation, we're going to have an episode between now and then, but come say hi there. Whatever you got to do. Otherwise, very best of luck. Don't do anything stupid. Nathan, say the thing.
Bye-bye.